What's good, YouTube? Um, Welcome to a stream slash video, and I'm doing this live for you guys to show you the filter. Um, so I'm not just like clipping something in like a video, just like pre-edited voiceover, whatever. This is live, so I will show you guys one of the best filters in the game to make hundreds of thousands of MT. I'm not going to clickbait and say you're going to make millions, but realistically, if you sat in this filter, I think for a long time, if you sat in this filter for like a whole day, I guarantee you could probably make it close to a million, probably, if you're really at it all day long. You can see right now my MT count, we're at 665,000, and keep in mind I only started playing my team a couple days ago. Just been getting back into things. And look at this. Look at all of this MT to redeem when I have the chance. I got all this stuff still in auction. Only a few cards. But yeah, you can see a lot of this stuff is selling. You may be wondering, what's the filter? Well, if you are noticing the trend, what's the trend? A lot of Nuggets players. There's a Thunder player. And then you go in here, there's another Thunder player. Some more Thunder players. Some more Nuggets players. Some Timberwolves players. So basically, I will be giving you guys the filter. So if you guys have been around for like the past few weeks in my team, you've obviously, you've seen probably like people talking about this filter, but it's a little different. So you know how you can do Timberwolves, and they usually tell you because the Timberwolves cards are up. So you can see. There's something you'll have to do. You're gonna need MT to start this, right? So you can see Karl-Anthony Towns and Anthony Edwards are the only ones that popped up. You need to buy those guys for as cheap as possible and then enable them. Now you could keep going by Timberwolves. You can see the cheapest Timberwolf right now is Rudy Gobert, who's 5K. And you could do it that way. Enable those two cards, the Karl-Anthony Towns and Anthony Edwards. You could do it that way. That is one way you could do it. Another way you could do it, if you don't want to enable all those cards, you could also go gold. I'm just keeping it on enabled just for the purposes of this. You see the cheapest, okay, wow, it's even more. Cheapest, whoa, hold on. The cheapest Timberwolf right now is 8,000 for a gold. 8,000 MT for a gold. And you could do the same thing with the Nuggets. You could do the same thing with the Nuggets. You could go gold, and I think the cheapest one here is maybe, what, 6K? 5K? So it looks like the cheapest Nugget player is 5K, right? 5.5. So, and you could sit on here, and you could snipe golds. But I will show you the filter I have been using, personally. I go Division, Northwest, enabled, and I put my buyout right now. Obviously you're gonna have to adjust this like in time because the market changes a lot, so I like to go about 3,600 because you start seeing like cards like let's see, like, yeah, this Ousmane Dieng, you start seeing cards that you're looking for snipes. So you can see there's a lot of Jazz and Trailblazers. So what you'll have to do when you're gonna have to go in and you're gonna have to buy a lot of cards. Now, fair warning, you're probably gonna need about 60 KMT to start this filter. Maybe less depending on what you get the cards for, but I would say around 60, 70K will make it pretty safe. You're gonna want to buy every single card you see under 3,000 MT. I honestly would go as far as 3,500. But buy as all the cards that you see that are under 3,000 MT. Especially Jazz and Trailblazers. You could even go Trailblazers. Honestly, the best way to probably do it is just go by Trailblazers. Like, for example, just go Team Trailblazers and Jazz. Like, you can go between Jazz and Trailblazers. And I'll show you guys here. Just put your buyout up and then just start buying them. Start buying, and you might have to keep track of the ones you bought just so you don't buy duplicates because you don't want to do that. So DeAndre Ayton, Denji, Devontae Graham, Chris Murray, Scoot Henderson, buy all these guys up. Um, and then you have to do the same for the Jazz players as well. And when you eventually get it set up, um, yours might look a little different than mine because, to be honest, I could probably have more cards on my enabled if I just bought up, these ones. I usually don't buy these Jazz players or Trailblazer players because they are pretty rare. Like usually most of the time, because I bought most of like the popular ones. Most of these are going to be, gems of the game, or yeah, gems of the game cards, which I don't really bother buying. You can see Aaron Gordon for 3,400 is actually a good buy. So if you were desperate for MT, you could buy that Aaron Gordon, resell him easily for like 4.4k or something, 4.5k, make like 600 MT, which doesn't sound like a lot, but trust me, when you do that for 10 cards, it adds up to about 6k MT. So yeah, I just come in here, put my buyout at about 3,600. Now, obviously, like I said, this is going to change depending on the time of day you're doing this and everything. Like I'm doing this at 1 in the morning my time, which is like 11 Western and 2 Eastern or something. So basically all you got to do is once you have it set up enabled, hopefully it's not broken. Sometimes it may break on you, so you just have to raise the buyout. And you may have to buy a few cards just to get it to work, but yeah, basically this is all you do. You just go in, you refresh over and over and over and over. Now hopefully I can get a snipe actually during this little stream. Because there are times, I will say, especially at nighttime. Nighttime, the cards definitely are easier to snipe, but they also become a little rarer to see, obviously, because yeah, it's pretty late at night. So I'm not expecting this to be super active right now, since it is very late at night. Like I said, it's 1 in the morning. But you would just keep doing this over and over, and dude, I guarantee you, if you sat on here for like an hour a day, all I'm telling you is to take an hour out of your day. If you're a my team sniper and you want to get into sniping, just take an hour out of your day. Buy up those cards, and once you haven't bought up, sit on here for an hour and just tell me how much MT you make. I guarantee you make about 50 to 60k MT an hour. And the good thing about this filter too, you could end up seeing something crazy on this filter. Now, it's pretty rare that it happens, but trust me, dude, I have seen Dark Matters pop up on here for less than 3k. I sniped a Damian Lillard for 500 MT off this filter. Ooh, there we go. For example, our first snipe, Wilson Chandler, and you've seen how expensive those Nuggets players were. They were 5.5k for a gold. So if I sold this back bare minimum for 5.5k, but usually you want to check the price on these cards, and if there's none on the market, list them a little bit higher than what they usually go for. So if there's none on the market of this Wilson Chandler, we could maybe sell him for 6k, maybe even 7k. So boom, if we sell this guy for 6k, we get 5,400 back after tax, and we make 4,100 MT, which adds up over time, especially when this is really active, this filter is very, very good. Very, very good. So just keep doing this. Most cards you're going to see are going to be at like the 3 hour and 59 minute mark or whatever, 4 hour mark. So as long as your scroll isn't too long for that. Usually I go all the way through though, just to make sure there's nothing else hiding around. But honestly, all you have to do is just go to the 3 hour mark and just back out, really. Because that's where you're going to see majority of your snipes. Right, so. Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, that's the filter, guys. I mean, you've seen how much we had to redeem an MT in my auctions. Not even sure how much it is. I know it's over 100,000 MT. Probably like 140, 150,000 MT. And yeah, you just keep doing this over and over. And like I said, if you sit on this filter for at least an hour, I mean, depending on the snipes you get, you can get some lucky refreshes. I mean, I seen a refresh earlier where I got, there was two players that popped up for 500 MT. So, you never know. I got a Dark Matter Damian Lillard off this filter for 500 MT. I got a Gordon Hayward, I believe, Dark Matter for 1,000 MT. And I got a Dark Matter Alex English for 2,500 MT. So it is definitely very possible to get Dark Matters off this filter because I've gotten 3 of them. I'm 3 for 3 on Dark Matters off this filter. You could also see if you get really lucky in 100 overall. What 100 overalls are on this filter, you may ask? Well, there's Shea, There is actually I can show you guys right now, I guess. Um, take the buyout off. So there's Rashard Lewis, Clyde Drexler, who are both look pretty close to buy nows actually. Rashard Lewis and Clyde. Shea would be an insane snipe if you've seen him on here. Um, Ray Allen, you can see Ray Allen. And I think Anthony Edwards is the other one you can see as well. So there's 500 overalls you can see, possibly. And there's also 2 invincibles, Carmelo Anthony and Gary Payton. Now, if you see Carmelo Anthony, that's an insane snipe. Props to you if you get him. If he somehow pops up here. Yeah, it's just, that'd be an insane snipe. So, yeah, it's definitely possible to see very, very good snipes on this filter. It's just really rare to happen. So if you get one, props to you. Honestly, just props to you. Like I said, just spend some time in this filter, and you can make a lot of MT. You'll make your MT back in no time. The first day I bought this filter, which was a couple days ago, I mean, I made back my MT very, very, very quickly. Honestly, I've thought about dedicating a whole day of just streaming. Not a whole day, but like, you know, maybe even tomorrow, honestly, or well, later today or whatever, I could actually probably stream me sitting on this filter and see how much MT I can make within maybe 2 hours, because usually that's how long my streams are, about 2 hours. And trust me, it's probably better than the 100 overall filter, because the 100 overall filter is very dry, very competitive. This one's kind of the opposite, I would say. There's still competition on this filter, but it's definitely, you definitely make a lot of MT sometimes. This will be very good on you know, days when there's content in the game. So like yesterday, I know was a pretty decent day. But the good thing about this filter is it's going to be good on most days. Even on Sundays when the market's pretty dry, it'll still be pretty good. Just because it's, you know, low cards. It's gold cards, emeralds. Sometimes you'll find pink diamonds and diamonds people will throw up. Overall, I think this is the best filter in the game right now. Obviously, you know, dark matter enabled still pretty good and all that, but you gotta have a lot of MT to do this, or to do those filters, I should say. This one, you know, you only may need like 50, 60k startup. If you don't have that much MT, take my advice and just do it by team. Just go by team and go by like colored gold or something. Eventually you'll get up to your first 50, 60k. Then you could buy out the filter if you needed to, and then you could start sniping on this filter. But yeah, if you have 100k MT, I would totally recommend this filter. If you have like, you know, barely over 100k, you're sitting there, you're wondering if you should sit on 100 overall or sit on this, I would just do this, get your MT count up more, and then, you know, you can see my MT count. I have probably 800,000 MT once I claim all the MT and stuff and have everything sell off. I probably have 800k MT, and I'm still sitting on budget filters. I mean, I used to do this stuff back in like 2K21 and 2K20 when I was really into my team. I used to sit on budget filters like Pink Diamond Cheapest. I used to still sit on Pink Diamond Cheapest when I had over millions of MT, because you just made a lot more MT. Now back then I honestly didn't really know what the enabled filters was, so I was kind of a noob. But the plan is to get hopefully Dark Matter Western enabled. At least get one of them enabled. But that might take a lot of MT, because I think I need about 30 cards right now to even enable it, which is ridiculous. Because I already have like a few Dark Matter cards, but I need a lot more. And yeah, it's probably going to cost me a lot of MT. A lot of MT. Yeah, I wouldn't expect this to be too active, you know, at this time of night. Do this during the day, doing this during the afternoon. Do it. I mean, you can still do it at night since there's less competition, but honestly, around the time that is for me right now, I wouldn't recommend really And you could still do it, but just don't expect, you know, don't have high expectations for the filter just because it's gonna be dry at night. Obviously, all filters are gonna be dry at night. Um, excuse me. And you don't, like I said, you don't have to enable every single card that's on the filter. You know, it's always nice to have a little bit of a scroll. Plus, like I said, a lot of these are gem of the games cards and are very like rare cards you rarely see pop up, and they're just there. So I wouldn't really mind buying them. I would only do that unless you want to increase your buyout more to be able to see like you know Timberwolves cards that they get posted for like 4.5k or something. I can give you guys another filter here. I'll just refresh a couple more times, see if we can see anything. If we don't, I'll just show you guys another filter you could use. Yeah, I'll show you guys the other filter you could use. You could go Pacers, right? Um, you'll have to buy Tyrese Halliburton, of course. You have to buy Tyrese Halliburton, and that's really it. These Pacers players, though, right now are very expensive. I mean, dude, 11,000 MT for a Pacers player, dude. 11,000. So you put your buyout, like, yeah, this would work, honestly. 10-9. You have, like, a very short scroll. But I like to usually have a little bit of a longer scroll. So yeah, this would work perfect for me. And you could just do this. You could do this filter. You could sit on Pacers, and anything you see for like 9k and below, like boom, that Miles Turner. If you want to buy that, go ahead. I'm not gonna buy him personally, but that's still MT being made on that card. You'd make like 600 MT. You sold them back for 11k. But yeah, just sit it. You could sit on this Pacers filter. And you know, like I said, buy anything you see like below 9,000. As of right now, as I'm recording this. And yeah, it's just another filter you can use. I still like my northeast, or not northeast, northwest filter a little more, just because of the fact you can actually see like 3 teams on the filter. You get a ton of snipes sometimes. Like I've had refresh. I think the most I've seen on one refresh is like 6 cards that were snipes, which is just absolutely ridiculous. 6 cards on a refresh is very crazy. Also, if you want to, like I said, you can put your buyout up in hopes that you maybe see one of those expensive golds. Like there's a Michael Porter Jr. for 3.95. Honestly, even this scroll's not even terrible. I know it's a good scroll, but honestly, I honestly don't mind it. I think a lot of the Thunder players dried up, dude. I actually think a lot of the Thunder players dried up. Anyways, fellas, that's all I wanted to do is just drop the sauce and show you guys this filter. Obviously, didn't expect it to be really that active at this time of night. Um, but yeah, give you guys the sauce on, in my opinion, the best filter in the game right now. Just because you can make so much MT within like an hour of being on this filter, especially during the day. So maybe I'll stream tomorrow of me actually sitting on this filter. Okay, 4.5, that's too expensive. Anyways, fellas, I'm out of here. Peace.